Chrome extension takes 5 seconds.
Hello, everybody. Sorry that took longer than usual with the streaming soon screen. My boss called me right as I was getting started. And she was extra chatty about business stuff today, so. Because I needed to... Well, basically, we were just trying to figure out stuff. All the time we're trying to figure out stuff. All right. We'll do Castorice at the end of this stream. Oh, I can't speak today. I used up all my speaking capabilities. I'm just gonna stutter and say the wrong words the rest of the stream, but it's okay. Mostly. Alright. We won't spend any time doing boring dailies. Let us do the trailblazing mission. Wait a minute. Is there no trailblazing mission? No. Knew it. I was like, I knew that I hadn't yet finished that. But it was because I didn't change point of views.
It's hard for a wanderer to find rest in this world.
Let us decide.
Hello, Megasonic77. How are you doing?
True philosophers. With our words and wisdom.
I did not get Castorice last week, but we just started, so hopefully we'll get Castorice. Thank you for following. Whee! Emote wall.
She is the second most experienced.
I always try to do story stuff and get some stellar jades and then pull. I feel like it helps me a little bit more. Maybe.
And the ablation of the core flame.
It's like you know, the carrot on the stick.
Admittedly, there is ample reason for her to take your life. Yet your previous reasoning is quite sound.
But she won't.
As a seasoned political animal, it's unclear whether she will actually.
Lucky. But thank you. I hope I get her today too. Obviously, I need her because she has a dragon. I need the dragon.
Is there anyone present who can swear by the
Once I saw that she had the dragon, I needed it. I needed her, so. I kind of wanted her anyway, but then I saw the dragon and I'm like, it's on. I actually have no idea.
If Aglaia required a suitably intelligent Chrysos heir, then I'm the best fit for her needs. However,
I probably got enough for, I don't know, at least 20 or so. I've been pretty diligent in my daily, so.
Since I believe in neither Titans nor the prophecy, there's no way that I would willingly walk on the path that she extols. Given how rigorously
I feel like Anaxa is just like a really fancy pirate. He's got an eye patch and everything.
I understand what you mean.
I have no clue on the pity.
At the very least, the both of us.
Probably, well, probably a lot at this point, actually, since I didn't get her last time. I don't know, I pulled at least 40 times, maybe 30. But I did get Mighty Most.
Just as we defend every oppressed citizen. However, I regret to say that sentiments in
So it's a pretty good chance that I'm gonna get her today.
Are only growing in magnitude. The peace that we are aspiring.
Although last time, when I got Mighty Most, I did get Japard. I got Japard right before I got Mighty. I was so mad about that. It's like only the third Japard I've ever gotten. He's officially, as soon as they like released the whole thing with the 5 stars, you can change up the 5-star lineup. I went and immediately took Japard off. I was like, no.
Although the circumstances are rather unfortunate from an objective point of view, it is an undeniable.
I like the way that they did his eye, his one eye. It's pretty interesting.
The de facto leader of the grove.
No, I tried offering a hug to Pom-Pom, but then it didn't work. So then I attempted to threaten Pom-Pom, and it still didn't work.
And it's evident that the Academy wields considerable influence.
Maybe if I roast Pom-Pom, because he kind of looks like a rabbit. So maybe roast Pom-Pom is on the menu tonight.
As the Grove's special envoy to Akuma for a significant amount of time. Of course, this also means that I will hold a crucial vote at the Citizens' Assembly.
In the name
I'm
of
rather
family,
hungry,
Akuma
which
thanks
I'm a
you
dragon,
for
so
your
I'm always
sincere
hungry.
and
So I can
valuable
always go for
advice.
roast rabbit anytime.
At this stage, it's clear that you and I understand the benefits to be won from this discussion. Let me put it plainly. The Council of Elders has always been renowned for its fairness, and that fairness is built on a foundation of sincerity. The Council of Elders has vowed to all
I don't
citizens
like
of
her,
Akaba
but I also
that
don't
they
like
will
Aglaya
always
either.
remain loyal to them. As for you, my lord, how will you guarantee
I don't
that
like
you will be
either
able
one of
to
them.
live up to such earnestness and will not betray Akuma's indomitable citizens when the opportunity presents itself? Just as
Oops. Dang it. I clicked
Surely,
it too fast.
Just. My loyalty does not need to be proven. The fact that the Council of Elders is asking for proof of my loyalty is itself akin to a form of betrayal.
I'm always going to point out that an Axe's boob window is not a boob window. It's a starry sea window.
The both of you bury the hatchet in a civilized manner. However, I am afraid that I must interrupt for a brief moment. As the Theoros,
Legus is pretty cool, though. He can stay.
Aglaya, the Goldweaver, is currently on her way to Dawncloud.
oh. Well, I do believe that we might have a slight overabundance of guests today.
Feeling
Overabundant.
dissatisfied, Lady Kindness? Despite the Council of Elders' lofty residence on Dawncloud, it must still tolerate the whims of the Chrysos heirs.
They are the heroes, so I guess I'm one of them technically now, since I'm going through Oryx's trial.
Better at playing this game than I. In any case, I'm glad that she's around. So tell me, Anaxagoras, now that you're an ally,
Gold rings.
if Aglaya were to demand,
I haven't
that
played a
hand
Sonic
you
game in
over,
forever.
what should I do?
I mean, can't really hand somebody over.
You can
though.
do as she says. Tell her that the Council of Elders merely wished to chat with me and had no intention of offending her.
Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Like, she doesn't know what's going
By
on.
doing so,
She's got those
the body
fancy
of the
golden
Council of
threads.
Elders will be as thin as papyrus that has been soaked in blood. Not only can it be destroyed at the slightest touch, but the council will also lose possession of a valuable core flame. No, more like 2 core flames. After all, at the next Citizens' Assembly, that young lady who is synonymous with death will also be standing on our side.
Ah, so he can, like,
Oh?
safely
How can you
say
be
that.
sure
That's
of that?
interesting.
Is that of importance to you? All you need to know is that I have a plan.
Oh, he has
In
a
my
plan.
opinion, you should be more worried about the impending threat. If Aglaya can
Impending
seize
threat.
me in full view of the masses today, she could also dismiss the entire Council of Elders in one fell swoop tomorrow. If that happens, the discussion that we've just had will turn into an utter joke instead.
Uh-oh.
Is this the outcome that you wish to see, Lady Kindness?
Fine. I will handle this matter appropriately. But you do
I think
best
playing
to
with this
remember
model's
this.
mouth
Fool
movements is
people
fun,
and
though.
Karma will be on your tail.
Some reason it doesn't like
I'll
moving its
overlook
mouth to
this
the other
time,
side, though.
But don't count on there being a next time. Unless, course you crave cruel punishment and consider suffering the perfect state to ponder the true nature of souls.
That makes him yeah.
Well, what do you know? That happens to be one of my rare talents.
Well, there you go. One of his rare talents. Yeah. Okay.
We shall see then.
You know, being a masochist and all. We found out that he's a masochist. I guess that explains a lot, doesn't it?
To really impress me again. But shouldn't you be going after more?
Dying to know what I'm after. Hmm?
I mean, she is in his brain. Can she not read?
I'm the reason, Titan, after all. It is in me to ask and seek answers.
Easy there. You'll learn the answer soon enough. I didn't bring it up with her purely because she doesn't have the means to give me what I truly want. It's as they say.
He's gonna go talk to Light.
See most clearly. The true masters of Dawncloud have always been the Theoros, who watches over everything.
He who watches. The eye who's looking. I remember when the Dragonite she used to say that all the time. Before she grew up and grew out of it.
Visitor. Welcome.
She would think it's funny to put her eye through, or not, like, see through, like, little keyholes and stuff. Say the eye who's looking.
Pointless debate and come straight to me to seek an audience with Kefali. I have no reason to refuse you, do I?
You may not, but kindness has. Whoever gets hold of Kefali's core flame will get to rule over Akama. She's wary of me, so naturally I had to gain her trust.
Well, I mean, he already has a
Said
core
that
flame,
debate
technically.
was not at all pointless.
Very true.
In my view, this individual has gone to great lengths to get close to Kefali. He might very well be plotting something nefarious against the Titan.
Uh-oh.
Are you still willing to let him pass, knowing this?
Yes, very much so. All living creations are always free to visit.
But he does sound a little bit, maybe like he's like a little bit crazy.
Being the world bearer.
A little bit cray-cray.
How convenient it is to be able to hear what they say.
Sounds like he'd go into a high-pitched giggling fit at any moment.
Honor to speak to a venerated Titan in person.
Do you know the kinds I'm talking about?
Please, go ahead.
The giggling that starts like full-on maniacal laughter.
Oh, a bygone myth tells of an occasion where Kefali once answered their followers' questions on the peak of the holy mountain. Their followers have since believed that scaling this Titan cliff is one way of being with the god.
Hear that? It's not every day that you get to climb a mountain with Circes. You should sing me a hymn of praise.
Titan hymns are beyond me.
Of course they are. He's a realist, after all. He's the realest of the real. There's a butterfly. We gotta go catch the butterfly. Fate has guided you to my hiding place, Buzz. You weren't even hiding. Fate is like the knot tied by my master, or the threads spun by my lady. They entwine and weave to form the bonds that connect us. And it's these bonds that led you to find me, Buzz. What a face. What a face. Dang it, I knew it was gonna do that.
Take this pianist shortcut, and the long pilgrimage stairway will be waiting for you at its end.
I have to admit, I never expected you to not ask me anything.
He's the all-seeing robot man. I already forgot what their race is called.
You are after,
Of course, that was like 2 weeks ago that I remember this. Oh.
Others achieve their goals. I have a feeling that
It's been 2 weeks since I played Honkai.
At the end of
It's a long
this
time.
journey. I believe carefully will not deprive
Tomorrow's
you of
Black
your
Myth
right to
Wukong,
ask
though.
your question, especially now that you're on the brink of death. You must be closer to carefully than anyone else. Wouldn't you agree?
I hope things go as you say, then.
Putting
You see this guy's he's just about to like crack out maniacal laughter at any time.
it upside down. It is my hope that you bring a much needed change to this world which is on the brink of destruction.
Take it, if it's to your liking.
Honestly,
Zoomy zoom.
this is my first time going up to Dawn Cloud's peak.
What do you know? It's my first time too.
What a splendid view. Isn't it about time you recognize the magnificence of us Titans?
He's gonna be like, no.
Well, I don't see how this place is different from those temples in the city. All they have are magnificent facades.
Facade.
And even though I've come this far, I'm still doubtful about getting useful clues from him.
I must be getting ahead of myself to be expecting to hear something nice from you.
Haven't you been in my head for some time now?
Applause.
Get used to how I feel.
Applause. Applause. I live for the applause. Applause.
Alright, we're just a short hike away from Kefali. No time to waste here.
Uh-oh.
So the intellectual debate from earlier was
He
too
died.
easy for you, huh?
Debates are painful. I
Glorious
understand.
lease on life.
Debating is very
You
painful.
should focus on strengthening your body and stop shirking social interactions.
Save your concern.
The Titan is in sight. Can you make it?
Why? Are you going to carry me up if I were to fall now? I know how far I can go, so just hold your tongue and come along.
Fine then. I guess I won't say any more. I'll just wait till your soul dissipates completely to gain control.
He's like, don't worry. Your body will be used afterwards.
Wait. Who is that? Cersei's? Hey, look at that.
Huh? What
Oh,
should
she
I be
doesn't see
looking
it.
at?
Am I hallucinating?
Uh-oh.
Do we even get to see souls when we're close to dying?
It's interesting, though, because, like, why would he see that? Why would he see her if he's close to dying? Seems rather strange, doesn't it?
Oh, why didn't you bring your favorite spear with you on this trip, Nias?
Ah.
Ah, yes. I know I've heard this name somewhere.
It's unfortunate. The Black Tide destroyed every last inch of my calyx.
How could that be? Even a creation of Georios, from their prized ores and molten fire, couldn't escape the fate of destruction?
And Black Tide shit is serious business.
Cersei's. Do you know a certain Nias?
Nias? No, not that I remember.
Hmm.
Even think up such a strange name.
Suspicious.
I just saw him. Nias. A warrior-like figure who was just chatting with you here.
No, I have no such memory. Could you be hallucinating?
This is a departed spirit?
It is indeed. Here's a fragment of the Mad Titan. I forget which fragment. Was it? I think it was, the reason. This is a pilgrimage platform dedicated to devout believers. But you, Anaxagoras, never kneel to false gods. Snap. Catching it so far away. Dodger fly. Halt, traveler from afar. Buzz. 100 challenges have already failed my trial. Will you be the 101st? Oh god, it disappeared. What is it doing? For the honor of being a weaver, Buzz, take a guess. Behind which tree am I hiding? I don't fucking know. There's one on the left. Wrong, Buzz. Don't be discouraged. Only a rare few can see through my moves, Buzz. She probably remembers Nias from a different name. Even though I can't remember his name. I can't remember the Titan's name offhand. But he was the Mad Titan. The Warrior Titan.
Enough about me. Did Kaos ever reply to you?
Well, regrettably.
Seems like the price of becoming a demigod is a lot heftier than we thought.
Chaos. Demigod. I've never heard of this person. Which Titan's authority did he inherit?
Look on the bright side, Nias. Since we've come all this way, I doubt he'd snub his old friends, would he?
Let's just hope we mean as much as the world to him.
Hey! Are you seeing that same hallucination again?
Yes. It's still you and Nias, but you're now talking
Wonder
about
if, like,
Chaos.
cycles are happening
I'm
here.
guessing he's one of your companions.
Chaos? This name sounds just as strange to me.
Never mind. I think I know what this is about. If things are as I thought, then they aren't hallucinations, but the souls of people.
What? But if those are the souls of the dead, then what am I?
Beats me. For all I know, you're
I mean,
just an
could
illusion I
be.
conjured up in my dying moments. Let's just keep going. As long as I take in more sights and hear more stories.
Know your limits. Wander too far among the dead.
It's okay, we got Castorice.
Might not be able to save you.
She'll swoop in and save the day. This is a pilgrimage. Ah, there it is. I was gonna say the same thing. Well, I tried. Ooh, puzzle. We gotta do the puzzle real quick. These puzzles are getting harder though. Let's see. I don't really know. That does not seem correct. I need to try to figure out how to do this one. Somehow I need to end up here on the button. But I'm not sure exactly how to do that. Ah, there we go. Just walk back and forth for an eternity. Oh god, it's another Zagreus hand. Uh-oh.
Can you keep going?
Somebody's out of shape.
Of course. I'm just... If I knew we had to climb a mountain, I wouldn't have come along.
I bet the Titans were people before.
I guess this also counts as
I don't
one
know.
aspect of the world-bearing burden. If Amphorius does have a next life, you may want to get your body in shape.
Ah.
Sarcasm to yourself.
I'm not getting anything of value from them.
But you are. Oh my god, if you just listen, bruh.
Throw myself off this cliff and hit rock bottom, then exercise even a little. I am Calypso of the eminent Seven Sages, after all.
That was the name she used when we first met her.
Helcalithist barbarians.
Calypso. She's one of the Seven Sages. A member of the Grove? No, she can't be. I would know her name if she really were one of the Seven Sages. Hey, Circes. Does the name Calypso ring a bell?
Oh, she's gone all of a sudden.
They're gone. Doesn't matter. I can do this myself. Looks like I'm nearly there now. The land.
Oh, beautiful old world. Where are you now? Oh, legendary era Chrysia. Return to the mortal realm. Splendid gods once walked the paths we walk. Alas, all that's left of that warmth is a hazy mirage.
Why are you chanting that too?
Quality merchandise.
Oh wow. I kind of expected that to have to defeat one of those spirit thieves, but guess not. Okay, let's read this little thing. Devoted emissaries, heretical scholars, the lost wanderer, and the desperate outlaw. At the age of divinity, we look up in awe. In a fleeting moment of terror, the long road behind fades from memory.
We're here. Finally. So, I don't get to ask the Titan my question. But all of you make for a pleasant surprise, nonetheless. Very well then. Let me uncover the truth.
Man, he barely making it.
For myself.
Yes, Dragonborn. One day I'll play Skyrim. Oh my, well, Oblivion Remastered just came out, so I'll probably play it at some point. But I'd like to finish Black Myth Wukong first. I need to make sure that I get the true ending because I want.
Did I still fail to make it in time?
I think I've done all the secret areas except for Chapter 5.
So, I'm back here again. This is... I can hear it. I hear it from the depths of the tides. Behind the closed doors of the void.
He hears death.
A voice ready to tell me something. This time, the voice is a lot clearer than before.
I guess because he's closer to death. He's about to die.
Since we've come this far, let's just wait.
It's pretty art, though.
Lord Nias and Miss Calypso, are you both here to visit Chaos, too?
Yes, and we've been waiting for quite some time now.
Basically, we're just repeating a long history, I guess.
Regrettably, he hasn't answered us. The worst case scenario is that he's already been overwhelmed and crushed by the world-bearing burden.
You're overthinking, Lord Nias. I can still sense Chaos' soul in the area.
I guess they became the
And
Titans.
besides, we both know Chaos' nature. A deliverer like him wouldn't fall so readily.
So, yeah, so now we know that Phynon is going to take on Kephales.
Why are you making this trip alone, Polixia?
Oh, my sister needs more time to make sure the flowers are fine.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. Who'd you get? Is it Castorice again?
Such a pity. Both of you have hearts kinder than anyone else. Yet you are born only to take over Thanatos' divinity.
Oh, I bet she took over Thanatos' divinity. And Castorice has to take over the divinity from her.
Everything
nice.
I see and hear this time has left me shaken to the core. What may seem like a mundane conversation is in truth a once-in-a-lifetime exchange that has revealed the ultimate answer to Cersei's question. The conjecture has taken shape and must now be solidified into a theorem. Next, I only need to seek verification from Kefali. By doing so, I can answer Cersei's question and reclaim my body. But no, I will not do that. That isn't important.
That isn't important. Okay.
Because another one of my conjectures, one that I have always dreamed of proving, has been proved right this very instant. Fusing a mortal soul with that of a Titan to replace said Titan is not a ludicrous idea.
In fact, they've done it before.
What are you thinking about? Is that so? You don't look the slightest bit amazed, though. Plus, you seem to be strangely familiar with the city around the Great Tree.
That's because it might be just a little bit familiar. Save some pull for the Fate collab. Oh, thank you for following Star Night Panda. Yeah, the Fate collab's gonna be cool. I wonder who they're gonna put in the Fate collab.
Events of the past, huh?
Hopefully, maybe. But
I was
I don't
also
know.
a child when I looked up at Cersei's. Their leaves and branches reflected the sparkling stars. And their trunk was like a pillar that supported the sky and ground. I stood at this very spot back then, imagining the day when I could climb to the top of this tree. Because I would be the closest I can be to the sky at that spot.
So all the Titans were once all people too.
Don't read too much into it. I mean, can mortals even hope to...
So there were
reach
Christos
Aqua's
heirs before there were
They're a
Christos
strict
heirs.
and draconian god. Nothing like Cersei's. Reason is willing to share what is theirs with others, but Sky only expects people to revere them. You get what
I
I'm
love that
saying,
she's got
right,
stars
Danny?
all in her hair as highlights. That's
After
really cool,
all,
actually.
The titan that imprisoned you and Grey here in Amphorius is none other than Aquila themselves. But there will always be people who dream of soaring towards the sky. The Grove has a wealth of research on Aquila, and that is exactly what we are here for. It's just... I never thought Grey would meet with something like that before we set off. As a physician, I should have been there by his side.
So, but who was Ornyx previously? I talk about Mother a lot.
Yeah, there's no rest for the weary, huh? In any case, what we're looking for could be anywhere in this enormous grove. Let's split up to cover more ground. Danny, with your skills, I'm sure those monsters
Danny.
tide will pose
Oh,
no threat to
Danny
you.
boy.
Have you forgotten that you're talking to the chief physician of the Twilight Courtyard? Have more faith in me. I'll be just fine.
The taboos. I wonder if Hyacinth takes on the Sky Trial. If she'll be able to let us go free. Let us fly free. You had 2 pity? A selection process. Don Hong is putting it together. Sonny has joined stream, which means he's probably gonna bite my fingers a lot and click the mouse button a lot. That's his favorite thing to do, is use his tail to click the mouse button, or use his tail, which is currently what he's trying to do, is take over my model again. That's another one of his favorite things to do. He likes to control the model. He thinks he's a big boy when he does that. I wonder if they have, like, the previous, like, where Calypso and Nias all became Titans. Mighty Morse. No, wait. Okay, we gotta go down here. I was thinking that this was impassable here. I don't know why I thought that. I just did. Already, you're looking to bite me, Sonny, and I was just petting you. Can you be a nice boy on stream? Yeah, you were gonna pull on ZZZ. Well, hopefully not. I only play a couple gacha games. I played this in Infinity Nikki, so. Black monsters are twisted in form, and their life was turned to ash together with their souls. It's impossible to figure out their form when they were still alive. Scroll. The Scholars' Debates. 1. A recorded debate between venerationists and nous porous scholars. Most of it is illegible, leaving only fragments of dialogue. Jesus Christ. Why do they have to make these words so hard to say? Venerationist scholar. We all recall that the state that dared touch the sky. But what were they really? Just blind masses manipulated by ambitious politicians who dared challenge the Titan's authority. Venerationist scholar. A completely meaningless attempt. An absolute mistake. Nos porous scholar. You venerationists have bowed to the Titans for so long, you've forgotten a scholar's true purpose? Nous porous scholar. Making a mistake does not mean that the act was meaningless. Nous porous scholar. Even those students new to the Grove understand this from basic logic lessons. Nous porous scholar. An entire city-state reduced to ashes proved the skyship's construction was a mistake. To me, that's precisely the meaning they achieved through sacrifice. Venerationist scholar. Am I hearing this right? Such a statement. Are you converting to venerationism? Venerationism? There we go. Nous porous scholar. No, simply examining the matter from another perspective. Legible content ends here. If I ever see the word venerationist again, I don't know. I'll just like pluck my own eyeballs out. For some odd reason, I have it in my head that a venerationist is like some old guy that's like, I'm super rational. I'm a venerable old man that's super rational. That's what I think of.
Really now? This is way more trouble than I could have asked for.
She's funny. Need a hand?
Or you could sit back and watch. I'm kidding, Danny. Lend me a hand, pretty please.
I didn't think I had to consider whether or not she was serious or not. She is a crisis singer, so.
Eternal sleep. The dead return. So nothing major. Receive divinity. I can't die.
I like how he's like, I can't die. Don't kill me anymore.
Conflict is pitiless. Use all your might. Show no mercy.
Mighty Most is so much like Blade. It's funny.
Curiosity. There's endless riddles. Nothing but a void.
Burn it all. Through my blood. Burn it all.
Open sesame. Watch it crumble.
Nice. Well, I mean, it did get attacked.
Black Tide is remarkably quick to detect the light of Amphorius. So or rather, the blessings of the Sky Priest in me, might have unknowingly called them to me.
Oops.
Anyway, never mind that for now. Here, you might want to have a look at this. I found it around here and thought it might be of interest to you.
Like the Sonic, the Mega, yeah. Scholars debates 2. A debate record between two scholars. Most are illegible, leaving only fragments of dialogue. Euthifiro. Well then enlighten me. What exactly do you mean by examining from another perspective? Simple, you see. When we stand normally, the sky is above. When we stand on our heads, it's below our feet. Euthifiro. Whatever. Hey, I don't even want to know what kind of situation inspired you to make such exalted theories. Euthifiro. By the way, I have a student who loves to write satirical comedies, and once wrote about a fool who could not figure out a question no matter what. As I said, there's no reasoning with you venerationists. There it is again. You're like the drummuses, huge that always gazing downward at the earth, while I want to be the wasp that stings the drummus. What if that state tyrant's defeat simply proved that among all paths to Aquila, the skyship was the wrong one? Alice and Anaxagoras, you impious blasphemer, mark my words, you will eventually answer for your sacrilege. Euthyphro, I doubt your students, or that young teaching assistant girl, have any idea what secret research you're truly conducting. Legible content ends here. I guess maybe they're talking about Calypso. Not Calypso, Jesus Christ. Castorice.
This is new. I didn't know Professor Anaxa was researching the sky.
Professor Anaxa was researching
Never mentioned
everything.
anything about it. Might is an understatement. Anaxa has never been one to venerate the gods, nor has he ever found it within himself to put any faith in the prophecy. People have come to think of him as a heretic, even in a place as liberal as the Grove.
He is a little bit
It
heretical.
is also this very blasphemer that Cersei's favors. Fate sure works in mysterious ways. Oh?
You put two and two together. One and one makes two.
By the looks of them, these scrolls are records of two conversations that took place in the same setting, one after the other. Go ahead.
Who are the Venerations?
The Grove of Epiphany is home to 7 schools of thought. While all 7 schools are founded on the ideologies of Thalesis, the first scholar, each is unique in its own way. Among them, the Venerationists revere and worship.
Hey, I
Themis
pronounced
the
it
most.
right. Pretty good about that.
As the sage of the Venerationists, Euthyphro has always.
I
been
also
above
pronounced
the heads
that pretty
of the
right
next
too
set.
after I got it. Euthyphro. It's Euthyphro.
If we were to place the 7 sages on the scales of Talanton, Anaxa and Euthyphro would be placed on opposite sides to achieve balance.
That makes sense.
Nearly everyone in Amphorius has heard the story of the skyships by now. Aquila's stature is loftier than the heavens, and their divine retribution is merciless. That's why it's no use building giant skyfaring ships. Oh, but I do wonder if a supercharged mini Treaty cannon could slip past their watch. Newsporists primarily study the application of alchemy in soul repair. Everyone considers Anaxa a blasphemer, but that has never stopped.
I wonder
him
why
from
he
sharing
always
his
wanted to
ideas,
look into soul
no
repair though.
matter how taboo.
What does he
If
know?
you must say that he's hiding something, then it's likely what lies beneath his eye patch.
Or in the booba window.
Anaxa often says that every failure brings us one step closer to the truth. Perhaps, to him, the crash of the skyship carries a different interpretation. The firmament is not impenetrable. On the contrary, it was precisely because the skyship represented the first step toward breaking free from the shackles of the earth that it provoked the wrath of the Sky Titan and brought divine punishment upon itself. It's a shame that the majority of the Grove's research on Aquila was headed by the Venerationists, with sacrificial rituals
That is a long
making up
paragraph.
a predominant part of their findings. Discourse about more esoteric subject matters in relation to Aquila dwindled even further after the skyship incident. So much so that even this scroll is completely new to me.
Secret experiments.
That's what I'd like to know. What are these experiments he's involved in? Even I, the assistant lecturer, know next to
Oh,
nothing
she.
about
I guess she's the assistant lecturer.
I have a bad feeling about this. Could there be more to what happened at the Grove?
That's a good question. I guess we're about to find out.
This is the Library of Philia, a place where the Grove stores its collection of tomes.
Okay, but where are the tomes? I don't
Other
see
than
any books.
written by the 7 schools, you can also find philosophical texts, ballads, and religious writings from the Outlands here. Cities that desire to learn from the Grove were apparently expected to contribute knowledge of equal value to what they saw. We've had more than our fair share of hilarious episodes over the years. For instance, it's said that the Erythrocheramists once borrowed a manuscript from a certain author. but
That is
ended up
also a
attributing
very
copy
long name.
instead of the original.
Erythrocheramists.
What's more, the original manuscript was supposedly then hidden here.
Doesn't seem like a nice thing to do.
No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits. Whew. You've got me there. Some said you couldn't even find a dictionary in Castrum Kremnos.
I
So
mean,
guess
that
this
kind of
was-
makes that checks
There
out.
are too many books in the Library of Philia. Flipping through them all will take too long. Why don't we use the Biblioslate to search for the texts we need? We can bring them back to Akama for reading after that.
It's definitely not safe. This is where we first met Cersei. Complaint letters from the scholar about Anaxagoras the blasphemer. Thick stack of letters. Based on the dust accumulated in the perfectly intact seals, the complainee did not even bother opening them and just tucked them aside in a corner.
Ugh, it's so dusty in here.
Everybody got something to say about an Axa.
Complaints about him. I can already see what they must have written. Anaxa has no respect for the gods. His very existence undermines order.
Probably something more heinous, honestly. You're like, hey, he turned my brother into a frog. Trying to, like, repair his soul.
Why else would they call him the great performer? When Anaxa established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone.
That would be a me thing to do. Like, I would be like, hey, look at this thing. Let me just read it all to you. That's like, man, that is egotistical on a level that I can relate to as a dragon. Yeah.
Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds.
So let me read you my work.
Perfect, but what of Emphorius?
It's a good thing I don't write. I would be awful.
Everywhere you turn.
I mean, I narrate Mr. Brogath's books on stream, but can you imagine, like, if I wrote a book and then narrated myself? I'd be like, this is the greatest book in all existence. If you haven't read it, what the fuck are you doing?
They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish.
Wow.
Though what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholar's allegations, or face expulsion from the grove.
Uh-oh.
The first allegation was... Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth,
oh no,
so the mountains, rivers, and seas must likewise be their creations?
Yes.
Anaxa would have probably been spared a lot of trouble if he had answered this way. Instead, he quoted past instances of the Flame Chase journey and posited that humans have the potential to take over the divinity of Titans.
Well, I guess them's is the facts, though.
Needless to say, his critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it? Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Some say he used one of his eyes as an alchemical ingredient.
I'm pretty sure I learned that like 2 weeks ago what happened to his
Every
eyeball,
being
but I
in the
can't really
world
remember.
owes their safekeeping to Kifili. And this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them.
Oh, he went and saw his dead sister, I think is what it was. The alchemical exchange.
Thankfully, they had no way to prove
Equivalent
it.
exchange.
It amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end.
He wanted to see his dead sister, so they took his eyeball.
One by one, Anaxa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods? It was only after a brief silence that he answered, I have never denied that Titans are meant to be noble constructs. Yes, I'm Not sure how that controversy was eventually resolved, but what's for certain at least is that Anaxa was allowed to stay in the grove where he continued his research, despite being regarded as a heretic. By the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate.
Nice. Well, let's go there. You could have thought of that sooner.
Alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones.
It sounds like platform 9 3/4, you know, or Diagon Alley.
Well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. But with the grove in this state, I'm sure.
Thank you for the hydrate.
Even if we sneak into the lab for
Reach over and get
short
my
while,
bottle of water.
right?
Time to go to Naxa's secret laboratory. Laboratory. Caught it! Check out this cool thing. We gonna ride the water wheel. It'd be nice if you could ride water wheels in real life. Why do I have to wait till it stops, though?
This is the place, but where is everything?
It's a
Where are the
secret.
alchemical experiments, matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab. There,
Anaxa would never have anything out in the open.
the black tide destroyed it all.
Her C2OP.
No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaxa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking bright as rain.
He probably did that on
come out
purpose
covered in
so they would not
hair singed.
wander
Naturally,
here.
No one dared to come near this place. Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing still intact.
These are the materials requested by Anaxagoras. Documents from various fields have been compiled in one place, including Titan creations, the universality of the soul, alchemy, doctrine, and so on. Most of the materials look to be within the research domain of the Nospora School of Thought. However, a document titled A Study on the Crisis Heir's Background is mixed within. A hastily written journal. These appear to be quick notes examining the background of Crisis heirs. The Holy Maiden of Yanisopolis, Tribi, Trian, and Trinan, the descendants of the Holy Maiden from the Temple of the Three Fates. Goldweaver Aglaia of Akama from the Nestia priestly family. The Prince of Crastrum Kremnos, Hyacinth of the Twilight Courtyard. All of their ancestry have varying degrees of connection to the Divine Titans or the Divine Authorities. Does the Golden Blood come from the heritage of priest families or royal bloodlines? Anaxagoras, I myself show no such connection. Kefali the Creator, what criteria did they use to create the Golden Blood, to shape the Chrysos heirs? Yet Castorice, the servant of death from Idonia. Her lineage is neither Titan priest nor demigod, but she has walked the earth for at least a millennium with the power to grant death to humans. Where did this power come from? Another text speaks of the dragon legends of Styxia. The alchemical extraction of soul ripped from dragon corpses is intriguing. Dragons appear to be the Titans' creations. Perhaps as a way to reverse the process, using alchemy to refuse human souls with Titan creations, increasing the purity and divinity of golden blood toward the absolute. This theory must be tested. experiments to be arranged.
What's going on?
Man, and Axa was in some deep shit.
Conducting research on our friends in Alchema and me?
Everybody. Everybody. All the Chrysosers. No one was spared.
It wouldn't have been so strange if he had focused only on Cassie, given her own curiosity about her origins. Plus, considering that the new sporists have crafted omnipotent medicines capable of curing diseases, it also makes sense that he would conduct research on immortal Chrysos heirs. But now, it seems Anax's objective was never to create medicine, but to identify the origin of the golden blood and figure out its inner workings.
It must be, it's strange for somebody who doesn't worship Titans. But I suppose, you know, why would you worship Titans if there are also people who were turned into Titans? I don't know.
Danny? Look at this. I have a bad feeling about this.
A hastily written journal. 2. These documents appear incomplete. Judging from what's left behind, the important alchemical formulae have been taken away. Only the author's reasoning remains. The previous approach has flaws. Using human souls with Titan creations does not purify golden blood. Even pure Titan creations are contaminants to the Chryso heir's golden blood. Soul fusion between humans and creations merely repairs impurities of the soul or maintains a connection to dying souls. While creation myths tell us that Chrysos heirs and other creations were all made by the Titans, their nature differs fundamentally. The Titans' creations are no intermediate products of an alchemical process, and the Chrysos heirs are closer to the Titans than the creations. In other words, I should not have considered Titan creations equal to Chrysos heirs. The hypothesis I should focus on is one pointed toward the Titans themselves. Such rare chances to study Titans demands a meticulous selection of research subjects. Living Titans prove impossible to restrain, and dead Titans offer no insights worth pursuing. But dying Titans, they are the perfect research subjects. Only by understanding the fundamentals of creation can we ensure perfection in the moment of everything's birth. Through my own hands, I will melt a Titan and reach the true essence of the soul. I wonder if that's what he's doing with Cersei's right now.
It's come true. After going through his notes, I think I can piece it all together now. Anaxa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation.
Uh-oh.
Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something. Do you remember when the Black Tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Cersei's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the process.
Soul transmutation!
But what if Professor Anaxa's fusion with the core
Well, I
flame of
mean,
reason wasn't an
I think that's
accident?
pretty evident at this point.
Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the Black Tide was closing in and your time was running out, what would you have done? Exactly. When the Black Tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame. No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Cersei's would make a similar decision.
Well, I mean, whatever. His soul is fused with
Manuscripts
Cersei's.
detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing. Like, what? There's only one Titan left in the world now. No,
Carefully.
no. He's after Kefali.
Dun,
Sir,
dun,
the
dun.
sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light, projecting the nights of the past here for you.
I guess that's
Much
Kefali's
like how
doing.
the sky above the holy city is also illuminated by Kefali's dawn device.
So, the skies of Akama are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Inoxa. You should know that only a child would expose
I
its
mean,
trick
I
and be
guess
proud.
I would be a child then, because I would totally do that though.
Often people know more than they let on. They simply choose to feign ignorance because they have no other choice.
Then they're just deluding themselves. People believe in Kefali's tale of Genesis, accepting wholesale whatever the priests preach. But we are different. We've already walked out of the firelit cave of ignorance. We have already realized that we live in a world where Titans make the rules. Even when we look at the sky, we're only seeing what they allow us to see. Rather than gazing at this mockery of a night sky fabricated by them for the rest of my life, why shouldn't I be the one to take control of the projection device instead?
So much time has passed.
Next is like,
since
I'm
sowed
just the
seeds
right
of doubt in
egotistical
my
maniac for the
heart,
job.
child. Many a night, I find myself penning down all my theories and wild ideas, only to burn them to ashes when I open my eyes in the day.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if word gets out?
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to the great tree. Every word I say and every move I make is certain to influence every leaf, every branch, even the tree itself. But above all else, my days are numbered. Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them. The golden blood in my veins is woefully thin, and I am loath to waste what little time I have left obsessing over
No, I guess
a
technically he's a
hypothesis that
Chrysosaur
cannot
too.
even be proven
Wonder
in
how
the
many
first
people are
place.
Chrysosauros versus not Chrysosauros.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right. Give me all that I need, and I shall accomplish this grand feat on your behalf.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, I will spare no efforts fighting for the rights you deserve. Go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Dun, dun, dun.
Child of humanity, you didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefali. Just ask him a few questions.
Of course not.
Did you?
He's an Axis.
So,
An
you
Axa.
figured it out. If I were as foolish as a Dromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas, I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Yeah, he's got a lot of both. Definitely has a lot of
For
both.
such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa.
You know, I don't remember them ever mentioning who Fagusa's flame bearer was.
They call me a blasphemer, Circes.
They don't really
But that
talk about
doesn't
the
mean
Ocean
I
Titan
deny
very
the
much, do they?
existence of gods. It's just as I see it. Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans?
He's like, but I can do
when I
a
can
lot
do
more.
so much more. The source of life is what I wish to grasp, to understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life. And where there is an end, there must also be a beginning.
Wow, so prophetic.
How then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculations.
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
It's so deep.
No, I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now, I finally saw the answer with my own eyes.
Professor Anaxa. I'm here. Her life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Uh-oh. Where am I?
Of course.
Forgot
I'll bring
already.
this to a conclusive end and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange,
Uh-oh.
I must also demand.
I like Castorice. It's beautiful.
I need.
Butterflies. She reminds me of Black Swan a lot. Like the colors of the butterflies and stuff.
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and her survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see.
Uh-oh.
In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Couple times, yeah.
I am but a living dead man now. But that's
Living
not
dead
important.
girl.
What truly matters is I
Needs to be Rom
overheard
Zombie song about an
conversation
Anaxa.
between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were
Living
part of that
dead boy.
conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Or they don't remember who they were before they eventually were consumed by the core flames. Dun dun dun.
Because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
Huh? Oh, that's the name I made.
Because it wasn't exactly made up. Deep down inside, she remembered it.
And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world. So who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness? Yet
Is
you have
eventually
no
the
idea
core
who
flame
she is.
takes over them and they become Cersei's
The answer
and not
is
Calypso.
evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans.
Well, I mean, other than the fact that they have lots of power.
Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once
From
human, as
elsewhere.
you claim,
From the
then
sky.
where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that.
What?
But it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
Oh.
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like what you did to me. If I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
Oh. I kind of thought the Phynon would be following.
Hyacinth and Dunhung. Anaxa might be trying to do something with Kefali's divine body.
Oh, I guess that's why he's here.
Kefali? But what could Anaxa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
They don't know what's going on.
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his tricks.
I mean, she's not really any different.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaxa's ambitious desires will be something we can exploit. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kynus is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plans. Being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods. Become the next challenge you ought to overcome. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
Preposterous! The Christos heirs only have their standing because of the Council of Elders.
Uh-oh.
How dare they trample over it?
Somebody's angry. Shooting daggers with their eyes. If looks could kill.
It's been a while.
Ah, it's Crataros! Hello, Oleg of Amphorius. It's true, he is Oleg of
Is this really
Amphorius.
the sort of person that the young lord praised as a ferocious warrior?
You wanna test it? You wanna find out, bruh?
It has indeed been some time, Lord Crataros.
You wanna try me?
Brings you here in
I'll
such
throw
haste?
down with an old man.
Shh, keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those
I
duplicitous
said it
thugs over
before
there?
in Honkai Star. I'll say it again. I'll throw down with an old man. The other one was the other Shanzhou general. That little old man. It's like, I'll throw down with the little old man. Let's do
I
it.
ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
Yeah, I like it. I like fighting for a workout. It's pretty good.
Did you hear thunderclaps last night?
Right, it's Acheron.
Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
Uh-oh. Well, that didn't take long, did it?
As much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
No, we just took him to another place.
You would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious kindness has been unusually active lately.
Vicious Knid.
Those lackeys she keeps under cover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the council.
Uh-oh.
That's...
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Crateros.
By Catherly into Lenten above, as the Theoros I have observed. Virtuous citizens of Akama.
Oops.
Aglaya, what happened here?
I should have waited a little bit.
I know about the poisonous fangs of that king snake through the golden threads. In the past, I would be confident about keeping her in check, but I admit I am now unable to do so.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean?
It is no longer about eloquence or arguments. I have been a demigod for far too long that I hardly have any humanity left. Before I realized it, I have become no different from these hypocrites, no longer capable of relating to the people. This has come a lot sooner than I expected. But perhaps it is time. I need you to step up.
It's hard for her to admit when she can't do something.
Behind the scenes.
I feel like she doesn't do that very often.
Yes, this is my duty, but...
It is far easier for the Council of Elders to fool many than just fool one person. Their so-called more support is no more than a ruse to distribute power using words instead of lances. There is no glory in winning this debate, but that makes having respect for humans so much more priceless. Finan, you are a Chrysos heir without flaw, capable of relating deeply with humans.
I appreciate what you've taught me, Aglaya. I hope we'll live up to your expectations and win this debate.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calictus. Let me take over and personally close this debate for today. Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems. Back then,
Closing argument.
Artorias was
What this
home
is.
to nearly
Closing
1,000
argument.
cities, each with their own local faith, while gods walked the earth and shared close bonds with humans. Yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city, where they hope to rest under Kefali's protection.
Well, I mean, the black tide is taking over.
With no way out of this plight. We didn't have a choice in the past, but now The Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility. All I have left is one question for
All
you.
she got left. All she got left.
Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova? Or
Well, of
return
course
to
it's
the
unheard of.
prosperous
I mean,
Arachisia
like...
of our past? Make your choice. Now, which of the two would lead mortals to an ideal future?
If it's possible to bring Era Crycia back. I don't really know what I'm picking here. Oh, yeah. Okay.
We all know that Era Crycia is a thing of the past, Lady Kindness. Please, enlighten me. How does the Council of Elders plan to turn back time?
The time warp,
Let the
obviously.
three Titans of Calamity be born, and Era Crycia
Let's
is
do the
But bring
time
demise
warp
to those Titans,
again.
and Era Crycia will descend upon us again.
Oh,
Know that the
look who
Council
it
of
is.
Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side.
It's like she's very boastful
Castorice,
about that.
one
Look
of
who we
Rove's
have on our
7
side.
sages. And Castorice, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these two heroes, I can promise all of you that Era Crycia will exist once more.
Aren't they Chrysos heirs? They're supporting the Council of Elders instead?
They're like, we're really fucking
It's
confused.
clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well in their group. All the more proof that Aglaya isn't fit to speak on behalf of every Chrysos heir. I am in favor of Era Crycia.
Era Crycia! Era Crycia!
Oh my goodness.
Castorice?
We're all like, what the fuck, Castorice?
You finally arrived, Naxa. So have you, Cass.
Don't worry, Aglaya. Well, I know that you have many queries. Could you continue to converse like how the citizens normally do? Tell me, dear citizens, if we successfully retrieve and return Thanatos' core flame without anyone passing the Death Titan's trial, what would happen next?
The answer is simple. We will have a chance to rid the world of death.
That's probably not a very good thing. Death is like pretty important.
Live forever. We'll usher in a new future that will be entirely
Because then
different
nobody will fucking
from the
die.
flame
Means these
chased
bastards
journey.
will never release power. It's like if what would happen in real life. If there wasn't any death, and these people in Congress would get to be like old dinosaurs. Pretty much already old dinosaurs sitting in Congress, so.
Your proposal is much too idealistic. As long as the Black Tide still exists, how can we go back to the old days?
Remember what I previously said? Kefali's core flame is guarded by the secret power of the Council of Elders.
Uh-oh.
Plus, Fagusa's water curtain will be able to block out any external perceptions. Tell me, dear citizens, have any of you ever seen even a glimpse of the threat that this person is
That's
talking
true,
about
not within
anywhere
Alchema.
within the walls of this majestic holy city?
Isn't this just survivorship bias?
If we eliminate death, then there's no need
Uh-oh.
for us to fear that flame reaver, right? Citizens, let's loudly sing the blessed hymn. Oh, beautiful old world, where are you now? Oh, legendary Era Crycia, return to the mortal realm.
After the destruction of the three Titans of Calamity, the flame chase journey will have to
Uh-oh.
end.
What if, I guess this is all part of his plan, though.
This is bad. The masses are now totally riled up.
They're like, oopsie doodles.
Pray tell. Everything that you've mentioned hinges on the premise that we can find Thanatos' existence. right?
He knows probably exactly where it is.
For still caring about this city. However, dear citizens, we are truly fortunate and blessed. For Castorice, Idonia's goddess of death, will surely find
Look at that
Thanatos
smirk.
under my guidance.
Look at that smirk.
What?
With that, I solemnly promise that the core flame Lady Castorice brings back will be personally managed by the Council of Elders. Thereafter, if we are able to garner the support of all of you at the Citizens' Assembly, we shall spare no effort in ensuring that the Erechrysia will return to our world once again.
With the balance shattered, the result is clear. By Kepri and Talent and above, as the Theoros I have observed, Akama has chosen her destiny. The issue up for discussion at this Citizens' Assembly shall be modified to the suspension of the Flame Chase journey. This resolution shall be put up on the Wall of Heroes, such that all citizens are aware of the city's way forward.
They just keep cheering.
Aglaya, dear Aglaya, what has caused your heart to soften?
Probably the fact that you're trying so hard.
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the Flame Chase journey has been preordained by the prophecy, our failure has never been on the cards.
Well then, I guess we'll find out if that's true at the Citizens' Assembly.
Uh-oh. The Citizens' Assembly. Anax is so hot. He's like a fancy pirate. He's a fancy pirate.
Well, it seems that when I sent you to look for Anaxa, I unintentionally facilitated your partnership with him instead.
My
Oops.
apologies, everyone. I know that you have many questions to ask me. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge.
In that case, please tell us as much as you can.
In actuality, he showed me a past that was both long and heavy.
Hmm.
The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Long and heavy. What does Anaxa mean to me? I don't know. He's a pirate.
Yes,
With
I am
a
but
weird
living
starry
dead man
sky
now,
booba window
but
instead of a
that's not
booba window.
relevant. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes.
I'm more interested in Castorice and a dragon.
Have you heard of this tale before? A tale about the ocean god's treasured pearl.
I am a dragon, so I think I did over 1 billion damage in Divergent Universe.
Seaside
Nice.
town, which enjoyed the ocean breeze and glorious, peaceful times, thanks to the wisdom of its ruling queen. Until one day, an evil dragon descended upon the town. Its wings were large enough to blot out the sun, while its claws were sharp enough to rip the waves apart.
I love dragon just like I like you. Ah, but thank you, Felix.
It barged into the tall tower and devoured the queen's beloved daughter. It even settled itself in her bedroom, like a tyrant king. The queen assembled 300 warriors who managed to subdue the evil dragon by chaining it up. However, when the queen slit open the dragon's belly, she realized that the princess had long since been digested, and all that was left of her was a pile of bones. Devastated, the queen wept for several days.
Holy yapping.
It was then that a devious,
She's telling a
smooth-talking
story.
scholar arrived at the palace and suggested that the princess could be revived through the use of dragon bone and dragon blood. That liar called this process the secret art of alchemy. The princess was reborn. The queen was overjoyed, blissfully unaware that the evil dragon's soul still lurked within the princess's body. As revenge, the evil dragon swallowed the poor queen, the glib liar, the courageous warriors, and all of the town's innocent civilians in a single gulp. Worse still, the souls of the
I just yawn.
refused entry to the
I like the
because
dragons
they
though.
were filled with regret. Forced to roam the mortal realm, these resentful souls ultimately converged into a river of souls that would not retreat for a long time. The terrifying death had consumed all. Thereafter, our hometown fell into ruin as well. Until...
Uh-oh. Got the story.
Actually, I don't know what happened next either.
Oh look, she's in a wheelchair. How
Seems
interesting.
that you still like to whet people's appetites even after all this time, Pelixia. So, according to your story, this is how I used to look? It's practically a mirror image. And yet, what exactly is this?
A miracle that I created with alchemy.
With
As for what
alchemy.
it is and how I was able to accomplish it, I'll keep the answers to myself.
Of course he does. You're not gonna tell us nothing.
Goodness, is this cliffhanger really necessary?
Quiet, Titan. Continue to enjoy this splendid play, and the truth will naturally reveal itself.
Dragon, huh? I've heard this legend before.
In that case, what do you think of it?
I think that this so-called alchemy was a tenuous analogy added to the story by future generations. After all, you've never heard of a tradition of alchemy in your hometown before, have you?
Indeed. Before I left home to pursue my education, I never even knew that anybody was looking into this area of study.
Therefore, we can just treat this tale as a fable told to young children.
A fable, you say? If so, what moral is it trying to impart
How
to the
interesting.
kids?
Her face is interesting. She's got lots of bandages on now.
The concept of equivalent exchange?
Oh? I thought the moral might be closer to something like honor the dead.
It's interesting because when you saw her before in the other memories, she wasn't like this.
No, I merely realized that we're both thinking of the same principle. If life is priceless, then there is hardly anything else in this world that is of equal weight to it, right?
Indeed. As expected of the wisest scholar in the land.
You flatter me. Why don't I ask you a question as well, as a form of equivalent exchange?
Of course. What is your question?
If I imparted my knowledge,
I guess she can't open that eye anymore either.
to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
What? What kind of strange question is this? I got it. You're just trying to get me to tell you whether I like anyone, right?
Let's just leave it at that. That was rude of me.
Yes, I would.
Oh?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I'm certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. After all, you, me, and the rest will all have to face that fateful moment eventually. My time is finally here. However, perhaps because of my firm belief in the immeasurable value of life, I am unable to complete the trial.
Uh-oh.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. It is a pity that fate is such a cruel mistress.
Is there no other way of interpreting those words?
I'm afraid that the meaning is clear. Between my sister and me, one must pay the price. Our trial can only be completed when the one chosen sacrifices her life. I'm afraid that the prophecy
It probably
have
did.
selected a pair of twins for this exact purpose.
Fortune makes fools of us all.
My sister is prepared to sacrifice herself. And yet, I can't do the same. How absurd. My time is almost up, but I'm still afraid to welcome death. What should we do?
I guess Castorice kind of like forgot about her sister, maybe, I guess. That's why she was like, I was looking for something that Thanatos took from me, I guess.
And leave this trial to the end. There is still plenty of time for you to ponder.
That's right. Don't allow the fog of an uncertain future to cloud your mind.
Trial, prophecy, the topics that they're discussing seem
Right.
familiar. But these three people must not have left their names in the epics. Otherwise, I would have some recollection of this.
Amphorius's history before the Titans were born was complete chaos. Is that not strange by itself? I have long held three hypotheses about this. However, let's continue watching for now.
Calypso, Polixia, and this warrior. I seem to have met him somewhere before.
Regarding this matter, Nias, are you confident that you'll complete your trial?
Of course.
Interesting that all the stars up here,
I'm worried about what will happen.
they got all the
once
core
I've
flames, I
emerged
guess.
victorious.
Well, eventually he becomes mad, so there's that.
Looks like you have made up your mind.
Yes, this is the safest course of action.
Completely separating courage, honor, tenacity, sacrifice, and reason. You really know how to make things difficult.
Please, young lady, witness my fall and demise. Lady Calypso, you shall host the soul-rending ceremony.
I do not understand. Why would you dare to sacrifice yourself for a future that you won't get to witness?
Because this is our destiny. The power that resides within me is so intense that I will one day be engulfed by
And that is exactly what happened.
Furthermore, a valorous death before glorious return has always been the path I chose to walk. A journey I began long ago. If your sister or Chaos were in my position, I believe they would make the same choice.
So the current
as well.
Kefali is Chaos. I totally would have pronounced that as Chaos. Ah.
I'm not that brave. I don't know how I'm supposed to face such a serious affair.
Despite being Death's chosen one, it seems you still don't
Well,
know
thank
how
you
to
for the
face it.
hydrate. I will go ahead and do that. Let me get a sip of water.
Let's chat, young lady. Perhaps I shouldn't end my journey so hastily. Since there's still time, I'm not worried about letting fate wait a little longer.
Of course. This warrior is Lord Anaias. As the embodiment of Nikador's divinity, he entrusted his life to us and allowed humankind to end his madness.
That he did.
That means that what I'm currently seeing before my eyes is, in fact,
the past.
Looks like one hypothesis of mine has already been proven true. These heroes are the true forms of the Titans, before they attain their divinity. If so, the chosen one of death that he speaks of is actually...
Polixia. Is the previous form of Thanatos? But her appearance...
If this is true, as long as we can find out where she went, we'll naturally be able to figure out the location of the Death Titan.
But before that, we first need to witness what ultimately happened to Lord Anaias. Nikador's courage is a testament that they have never once retreated from a battle.
I've heard that these words are still engraved in Castrum Kremnos even today. It didn't occur to me that they were actually part of an alchemical formula.
Well, there you go, I guess.
Sealed within this statue is undoubtedly his sacrifice.
They use their own body as our city walls, keeping out and protecting us from the pervasive spread of madness. They are acutely aware that if the end times were to arrive, there would be nothing left in this world to conquer.
Let's go check out the other one right here.
I believe that his tenacity is sealed within this statue.
Before we fought Nikador, we also released it from the stone statue.
And now it resides on Matamos.
Lord Nias's honor is sealed here.
Incredible. The honor in this child's soul is so light.
Let's check everything out. I think I did this one already.
Nikador's courage is a testament.
I've heard that these...
So the only one to look at is this one.
Honor, courage, tenacity, sacrifice.
And finally, the only thing that remains is reason.
And he became reason.
Cheer up, young lady. There is no need to shed tears over a glorious death.
All farewells in this world are sorrowful, Lord Nias.
No, young lady. As a warrior, I have witnessed too many bitter deaths. But now, all I feel is peace. I did not know until this moment that mortals could live their lives in such a way.
Although only a sliver of your soul remains, you remain so optimistic. Or maybe the truth is that you aren't able to feel sorrow anymore.
To be honest, I don't know either. But I am certain of one thing. This is not an acceptance of death nor apathy toward it. It's not even a feeling of despair. I am just enjoying what remains of my life to the fullest.
Enjoying?
Indeed. Along along this journey that we've taken together, not only have I changed the world, I myself have also changed in the process. And now I have reached the journey's end. When I look back and see the grand epic that I've personally written, how could I not revel in that fact?
But when you depart the mortal realm, won't all of your accomplishments be reduced to nothing? Separation and death are two sides of the same coin. Reconciling this doesn't come easily for a mortal.
Finally, let me recount to you a story of mine, young lady. The first time I returned from the battlefield, I felt extremely hollow. The calamity had devoured everybody on the battlefield but me. When I returned to the city alone, the citizens held a banquet for me that was far from pleasant. I felt as though I was still on the battlefield, and the person who had returned was nothing but an empty shell. It was late into the night by the time the banquet ended. My head still reeling, I returned alone to the barracks. On the way back, I encountered someone. It was a crude scholar looking at the night sky.
Is it an AXA? It's an AXA. Probably not.
I tripped over him and fell. I wasn't angry in the slightest. And maybe because I saw myself in
I really like this artwork.
I inexplicably asked him a question. Do you think that it'd be better if we just died on the roadside like a couple of stray dogs? To my surprise, he shrugged his shoulders and sighed.
How does someone who is currently experiencing death, dying and living, afford the same amount of bliss?
I like how Calypso's legs, like her feet and stuff, have always been translucent. Like you can see the steps to her feet.
Are you trying to say that there is no difference between living and dying? For they are both journeys that lead toward death?
That's exactly what life is. And death is but a scale to measure how valuable the journey was. Journeys and epics are only glorious and magnificent because all things eventually fade to dust. Therefore, young lady, don't detest your fate. Instead, willingly and respectfully embrace it.
The embodiment of strife telling me about the majesty of the world.
Embodiment of strife.
Indeed.
I like that.
I believe that when the fated moment eventually arrives, you will be able to understand my words. It is time for me to knock on death's door. I will set up a long table at the end of the road and humbly await your arrival. When that moment finally comes, let us drink and be merry then.
I knew this day would eventually come.
Are the both of you ready?
Mm-hmm. Calixia, I'm here.
Castorice.
What?
Even she forgot.
This is quite interesting indeed.
Is this Calixia's sister? Is it me? Now, it's time for us to fulfill our promises. Are you afraid? What are you afraid of?
She looks so sad. She's got that little piece of like dragon armor on her.
And through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains and be reborn with the dead flame. As foretold in the prophecy and according to our vows, once it all ends, we must face our fated moment head on.
Even if it was prophesized, do we have no say in the matter? It's so unfair. Why are we the only ones who are forced into mutual destruction? Let me do it, sister. Let me be death's sacrifice. I was never long for this world anyway. But you're different. I was the one who wasted your life after all.
Ooh. But how did she waste her life?
You're wrong, Polixia. I don't think that my life was wasted. Just the opposite. When I finally arrived at this destination and looked back at the journey I took, I discovered that flowers had long since bloomed along the path I walked. It was you who sowed the seeds for this sea of flowers, one that is more beautiful than the promised land at the end of the world. Besides, I have lived a fulfilling life. Even though I was fated for sacrifice, none of the things that I've experienced will dissipate. Instead, they'll forever live on as memories inside your head. Will they not?
How could my memories of you ever compare to the actual you?
Well then, tell me.
So I guess she sacrificed herself.
What exactly?
But does she still need to get Thanatos' core flame, though? It's my question. Like everybody else's core flame.
I don't know. I don't know either. But regardless of what the answer is, regardless of how we're shaped by others, or even by this world, ever since we were born, the fact that we existed was predestined, and nothing could erase it. This is why I will always, always be by your side. We're twins, after all. All right, my dear Polixia.
One has shoes, one doesn't
time
have
to
shoes.
Extract my heart and light the flame of death. After that, use it to plant the first bud in the prophesied new world.
So how are they supposed to do the prophecy now, though? Because it's Castorice and Polixia, but there's no new twins.
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I am certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. Even now, my answer remains the same. This is why, sister, I promise you, in the prophesied new world, I shall plant the first bud on your behalf. Go now. Return to the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. I shall open wide the entrance to the nether realm and grant you a second life. The living beings on this earth shall respond to my call and lead you to the sacred daylight. Remember, do not look back on the land of the dead, and do not stop moving. In the new world promised by the prophecy, march toward your new life. Ask for the price of our equivalent exchange. Let me be the one to pay it.
Everybody, we've come to the end. Unfortunately, I am not compatible with the Supreme Being, so I was unable to completely fuse their soul into my own body. However, being able to glean all this from them is exciting enough. I'm certain of this now. Before the Titans that we are well acquainted with were born, a group of heroes roamed the land. These heroes followed a prophecy and took possession of divine authorities one by one, until they eventually became the
And
head
now
of the
they
new
have to do the
world.
same thing.
Just like the flame chase journey of today, Amphorius's history is cyclical in nature.
What a startling revelation. This means that the demigods, who bear the core flames, will also become the new titans at the world's end, thereby shaping a new world?
I believe that this is the truth behind the Era Nova, as mentioned in the prophecy.
This is utterly unbelievable. Besides, those twins in the past, even if they really are Thanatos,
I like how she's like not talking about she's talking about the twins like she's not one of them.
Are their whereabouts truly unknown? Didn't Polixia mention that seaside town? The birthplace of alchemy in the tale of the dragon. In our world, there exists a city which perfectly matches that description. Styxia.
But the people there worship Vagusa and bear no relation to Thanatos. I have also never been to that place, as in the time of Idonia, it had long turned into underwater ruins.
Take this.
This is...
The new Sporist masterpiece.
Oh,
the
well.
Philosopher's Stone.
Now, there's a
It was
Philosopher's
made
Stone,
by
too.
transmuting all of the sage's wisdom into a single entity, with their flesh and blood as its foundation.
Man, we just gotta look for suits of armor that have souls infused in them.
Remember? I've mentioned before that the art of alchemy is all about conversion, tempering, and ascension. This process also applies to the pursuit of truth. Regardless of how unbelievable this sounds, the truths of the world have been refined from the impurities. Think about the story of the dragon. This stone will lead you to your real hometown, allowing you to reform the door to the Nether Realm and discover Thanatos' fate.
You still look as confident in your victory as ever. But what if your conjecture is wrong?
Simple. I shall merely admit to the entire world that my experiment was a failure.
Oh, now he's not gonna want to admit that it's a failure, does he?
My line of thinking will not fail, because I have already planted the seeds of doubt into the hearts of the masses. Actions speak louder than words, Castorice. With the assembly about to begin, don't forget the promise you've made.
I've already searched for so long. I'm willing to try one more time. While we converse, her life is also slowly slipping away. But before I leave, I have another question.
I guess she can feel her life just like going wee.
That was the world imprinted in Kefali's soul. If we are to prove its existence, you must take the final step. Go. Do not disappoint me.
I understand.
Hey, child of humanity.
Don't get antsy. I still remember the question you posed to me. As a scholar, I do not wish to offer up ambiguous conclusions. Let's discuss this topic again when she manages to find the evidence.
I merely wanted to ask, was that stone transmuted from your heart? If so, rebirth is no longer an option for you.
Why not? When I was a child, I lost someone dear to me. When I was a teenager, I lost my faith. A while back, although you saved my life, I also lost my soul in the process.
He just loses
Now
everything
I'm
all the
merely
time.
forsaking my body. What's the big deal?
Why are you always finding
Oh, I got
ways to
sneeze.
die? Isn't it good to be alive?
This is but a necessary sacrifice on my path to
He's like, I will be the purest being of all.
Can someone who's dead even claim to be the purest of them all? Furthermore, if your hypothesis is proven correct, does it not just confirm that the myths are true, and thereby invalidate all your theories?
No, it's just the opposite. If my hypothesis is correct, it means that I can actually ascend to godhood and reshape
now
this
I'm gonna
absurd
sniff all
world
the time.
that you all have created.
All I have to do is sneeze once. Alright, we're gonna do some pulls, and then we might find somebody to raid.
That's a lot to take in at once.
As soon as we're done with this cutscene.
Lady Aglaia, please, let me explain. You know that the core flame of death has always been the greatest unknown regarding the Era Nova, which is why both you and Kindness desire to gain the power to control that core flame in the approaching Citizens' Assembly. Professor Anaxa has come to a consensus with Kindness. They want to suspend the trial once Thanatos' core flame is reclaimed, hoping thus to eradicate death from this world. If they're successful, then the flame chase journey will cease, and Akama can enjoy everlasting peace.
Everlasting peace. And that's a huge deal, isn't it?
But I know this runs counter to your wishes. So long as we do not usher in Era Nova, the Black Tide will never be eradicated. Even with Lord Mighty on the front line, and the Black Tide not posing an immediate risk, the danger nevertheless remains. Honestly, it's difficult for me to assess the pros and cons in this decision. But someone must bring the core flame before we can begin negotiations over it. The Titan could be very near. I cannot let this chance slip by.
Very near or very far. That sounds like a Shakira song.
Trip to bring back Mrs.
Whenever, wherever.
Well said. You already had every reason to
Near or
seek an
far.
audience with Thanatos. It's that great performer who has weaponized your wishes and placed us in this difficult situation. A world without death. Do you desire that too?
If fate dictates that my path must oppose yours, I will do all I can to resist it and protect what I aspire to achieve. Lord Mighty showed me that without taking the first step, all talk of what follows is moot.
Say your threads.
I have always hoped to hear you speak your mind.
She's
Cass.
speaking her mind now.
And I am glad
For
to have heard your
sure.
true thoughts. Styxia. I visited that place in the past. Though it is now an island surrounded by the river of Souls
I
torrents.
have to take a drink after
It's
that
not
sneeze.
hard
Now
to
my
see its
throat's
former
like
splendor.
dry.
Go. I will not stand in your way. As for you, you are someone who has cheated death.
I've
I believe you
cheated
have
death
more
a
than
lot
enough
of times,
reason to make
apparently.
the trip with Castorice and meet the god of death himself. Castorice, I too look forward to your journey. I wonder what kinds of new interpretations your completed story will bring to the flame chase journey.
Thank you, Lady Aglaia.
I hate to put a damper on this heartwarming moment, but if Styxia is now an island surrounded by the river of Souls torrents, then how do we find a way in?
The answer
Oops.
is quite simple. In the myths, Zagreus once made the domain of the dead their treasure vault. That is to say, they could enter.
Yeah, but that's
and leave the
Zagreus, though.
Netherrealm as they
He's
pleased.
pretty, like, epic. As far as, like, going back and
if
forth.
they could do that, then it follows that the demigod who inherited their divinity must be capable of the same. I'll see you at Marmorial Palace at Action Hour tomorrow. Cypher shall be your guide to finding.
Ooh, I liked Cypher's design. She was pretty cool. Alright, let's do some pulls. Ah, well, I got lots of pulls. So let's just do our exchange. We already have 16, so we'll do 4. Start off with oh well, you know, I had more than that apparently. I only needed like 2 more. Nah, I didn't get one this time. We'll blow it all in Castorice again. Lay all the chips on the table. Oh, we got 2 4-star characters. One that I already have a lot of, so there's that. Okay, I believe, how many do I have here? 14, I need 6 then. Will we get it? With one of these pulls here. No, it's not that one. And of course, we're not finished with the Trailblazing story, so there's always next week if we don't get it. Oh, I got Pila. Which means I get another extra pull. Not this time either. But I still got like a few more pulls, I think. Yeah, I got a few more pulls. Like, I got 2 more there that I can exchange for right here. I got 3 more. Can we do it in 3 pulls? Nope. That one. My pity's gonna be so damn high next stream. Telling you what. Nope. Last ticket. Will we get casters this time? No. Nope. Womp womp. Well, there's always next week, right? Oh, never mind. There's not always next week. Wait a minute, hold on. I do have 2 more pulls here. Apparently she ends in 7 days. Pom-Pom isn't even grappling. Yeah, he is. Actually, if I do it on Tuesday of next week, I'll still have time. So, he is an evil bastard. He's gonna become rabbit too. I know. I got like 3 5-stars last time. It was horrible. So, you know. Nope, not that time either. That means I'll have next Tuesday to get it. So we're gonna try. We're gonna try. I got nothing left. Nothing left. Okay. So we're gonna pick somebody to raid. Who shall we raid? like to look at this Ray Misaki. So we'll Rez Misaki. So we'll probably raid them. Make sure I got it spelled right. Okay. Thanks everybody for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow with some Black Myth Wukong. We're gonna hop off here. We're gonna raid Rez Misaki, who is also streaming Jesus Christ, Honkai Star Rail. Oh, but tomorrow, Black Myth Wukong. I got Black Myth Wukong on the brain. I had to go back and find that secret place in chapter 5 before I continue my fight with my arch nemesis that I spent like 2 hours on last time. The time before that I got to play, it was like the Iron Ball. But anyway. I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. sharp. Thank you guys for watching. Too bad I didn't get Castorice. Good night, everybody.